on the far side of the course are the colours of Glasgow Schools Rowing Club. You can see their boat, GLS, that's the initials that they put on the side of the boat, white and red. They will be on the left-hand side of your screen from the camera shot behind the crews. And closest to us, there's this tremendous quad from Windsor Boys School.
Giving away 2 stone a man here.
Well, we've seen the young lightweights overcome that in their race against Cornell, Adrian. But there's some experience in that Glasgow Schools Rowing Club quad.
Yeah, Josh Armstrong in the stroke seat was a junior world champion in the British quad last year and was the winner of the single scull at national school, so he's a very talented athlete. And going to the Junior World Championships this year again.
I mean, you've just got to put that out of your mind if you're Windsor Boys School, haven't you? And just take comfort from the great race that they sculled yesterday against Maritime Rowing Club.
Well, we look at the Abingdon crew. Had Digby from Abingdon, the stroke seat, who's a great athlete, and Claire's Court performed as a crew and won.
Well, that's a fantastic start. Windsor Boys have done exactly what their coach wanted and absolutely blasted out. I think the tactic when you're up against such a strong crew as Glasgow Schools Rowing Club is you've got to try and unsettle them. And the tactic for Glasgow Schools, I guess, is just to stay there in their rhythm. It
is, I guess. The conditions much better than the previous races. It's much flatter. The crew's blade work's much easier. But Glasgow holding on to Windsor, and we'll see as they now transition from their sprinting into the race pace who finds the most solid pace for the next 6 minutes.
So Tom Smith, the Windsor Boys School stroke man, and he's in the red, the green and yellow, sort of on the left of that boat, closest to you, pushing about 600 watts at the moment, and the instruction from the coach to the crew to Bryn Ellery behind him, and Harry Oliver and Arthur Smith in the bow seat is unsettle your opponents from Glasgow. They're the favourites. They've got the fastest junior sculler in Britain this year in that crew, the world champion in junior quads from 2015, Josh Armstrong. He's just going out of shot now, but they're beginning the race of their lives, aren't they?
They are. I mean, the traditional thing of the lightweight crew from Windsor rating higher than the crew from Glasgow, and actually making use of it. They're clearing them away. But we've seen it earlier today. It's a long race, and we saw a previous quads race where the crew from behind from Marlow rode through Maritime. So let's see whether the Glasgow crew are able to do the same thing.
So if you look at the times of the boats yesterday, it was Windsor Boys who were quickest in the first part of the race, 2:02 to the barrier against a 2:08 from Glasgow School. Windsor Boys, the crew on the left of your screen now, Glasgow in red, the crew on the right. No doubt the Glasgow crew have improved this season. They came fourth at the school's head of the river race, and then pretty much on the podium for the rest of the year, where of course at the National Schools Regatta, Josh Armstrong wasn't in the boat. So
yeah, again, both crews, I mean, still rating a bit lower in the Glasgow crew, steering over a bit towards the middle. And hopefully, if they're not be careful, they're going to get warned by the umpire. Both crews sculling very well, but Windsor still keeping the advantage.
It's a cracking race, isn't it? They've set that high cadence, Windsor Boys School, at the start of the race.
They have indeed.
Coached by Mark Wilkinson, and well, we saw them race Maritime yesterday, and Windsor School old boy Adam Freeman-Pask was the co-commentator there with John Ledyard, and he was eulogising over what this state school has done for boys rowing in the country, and they've really led the way with sculling, and they are making a really serious move from the Scots there, Adrian.
They really are. They've passed the halfway mark, and they've really cleared the school from Glasgow, the Glasgow Schools Rowing Association. Just been brave, to be honest. They just went out hard and brave and kept the rate up to make sure they cleared. So there's a great view from the side there, the Glasgow Schools Rowing Association.
Well, yeah, no, that's Windsor Boys we're looking at.
Sorry, Windsor Boys, sorry.
Just the lad in the three-seat, Bryn Ellery, he's one back from the stroke man. He's only 15 years of age. 15 years of age, age, Adrian. I mean, what a talent he has got. I mean, he's really just followed the lead of Tom Smith. I know he's got Harry Oliver behind him in the Windsor boys quad to back him up, the lad who's raced in the British junior system, probably going to the World Junior Championships, maybe in the quadruple scull. We'll see when the junior selections are concluded in a week or so's time. There's a look. There's a look at the youngster Bryn Ellery with the shades on. Tom Smith in the stroke seat. Harry Oliver, the junior trialist. Well, I heard Paskey talk about the technique of tongue-out rowing. He's just had a little shout there, and why not give a shout-out to Arthur Smith in the bows? What do you reckon, Adrian? Yeah,
it's fantastic. And also in a system, like you're saying, at Windsor that's been so successful, when a talent like this boy, Ellery, in the 3-seat comes in, the experience he gains from rowing with boys who have been there really helps accelerate his development, doesn't it?
So you can see the gap. Windsor Boys School went out from the off, and they went out to unsettle the power and the rhythm of the Scots. Josh Armstrong, the World Junior Quads champion last year in the British crew, rode in that crew together with Gavin Horsburgh, who we've seen earlier, and then Sam Mayer. He's been down the track in the Harvard 8, racing in the Temple, and then, of course, not to forget Chris Laurie on that crew.
And there's the football crowd again, cheering Windsor as they come past. Really making actually quite good work of the race today.
So the Glasgow crew, the older crew, Josh Armstrong closest to it in the stroke seat, Callum Urquhart behind him, just gone off shot now, Ben O'Neill, then Ryan Morrison, that's his back. We're looking at the bowman in the crew that came at the school's head and won the scullery championship. Scottish crews really done so well today at the regatta. I know these boys will be disappointed, and Josh Armstrong looking
Oh my gosh, the blade came out, the stroke man on the right hand side from the Windsor Boys School, but he's managed to get it back.
When you say came out, what do you mean?
He just lost the blades and he managed to grab it.
How did he manage to do that? I was looking at Josh Armstrong, the World Junior Champion, look round, and you saw something in the Windsor Boys School quad there, Adrian.
Yeah, but it managed to not suffer at all from that mistake.
How did he do that? That's a real trick, because when you're moving that fast in these windy conditions.
Yeah, well, maybe we'll get a replay and see what happened to him.
Tremendous effort from Tom Smith as they come up to the finish. So Windsor boys, they approach the finish line. The distinctive green and yellow colours of the state school. Great race for them, and their coach Mark Wilkinson will be delighted. You can see what it means to them to beat Glasgow schools. This was not a done deal. They are absolutely ecstatic at that result. Tom Smith, the stroke man, exhausted. The young 15-year-old Bryn Ellery behind him, and Harry Oliver, he'll go on probably to represent Britain in the 2-seat, just congratulating his opponents. Arthur Smith in the bows, but
see the pain on the stroke man's face. He's worked pretty hard, hasn't he?